working, creating, working, creating my life. How are you doing? We need to talk about blood type B. We need to talk about blood type B because we left off the other day on A. We need to talk about B, and we need to talk about this chicken because I think people are forgetting how bad this chicken is. I think y'all letting chicken off the hook. I don't know what it is, but I'm seeing more and more chicken. How are you guys feeling since you stopped eating chicken? If ain't nobody gonna come on the live, I can go back to work. I can go back to work. I stop what I'm doing to come on here now. Let's get these numbers up. If y'all don't want to do a live today, that's fine with me. Trust me, I have so much to do. So much. The work is never ending. Tell me how y'all were feeling when you were eating chicken. Were y'all having any, hi Lourdes, were you having any mystery pains or illnesses? How you doing? Were you having any mystery pains or illnesses, mysterious weight gain? You just couldn't lose any weight. You having some aches and pains, some inflammation, skin bad. How were y'all doing when you were eating chicken and you didn't know chicken was the problem? What were y'all going through? You're welcome. What were y'all going through? Let me tell you what I was going through. I had inflammation from head to toe. My ankles were this big around. This big. I had to wear compression socks and little compression anklets and Skechers. I had to wear Skechers gym shoes because my feet had swollen up so much. Also, I was bleeding profusely. Like I bled for like 45 days straight. Heavy. Like skin was bad. Energy was bad. I had started getting blood clots in my leg. Well, I was suspecting I was getting blood clots, which if you start to suspect that you have blood clots, you probably have them. So I started taking some Vesiclear, which is Vesiclear is made from natto, and natto is something that benefits blood type A. Natto is they're like soybeans. It's really, whenever I see it, I'm like, I can't see me eating that. But it's these like little like beans. I don't know if you guys are familiar with natto or not, but it's like these little beans, and they put like mustard in it, and then they stir it up, and it just looks really slimy. But it's a dish that Asian people seem to like. But that's what Vesiclear is made from, and it helps to, if you have blood clots, it helps to break up a blood clot. I had started taking those, and something that I wasn't really paying attention to until I started paying attention to it is that my father's side of the family is blood type B. And there were a lot of people on my father's side of the family that had blood clots. And there were a couple of them that had died from blood clots. So that is something that was in the back of my mind, but came to the forefront of my mind when I started feeling like I was getting these blood clots in my legs. So when I just kept getting progressively worse and worse and worse. And what I do now on these lives, I used to do that standing up. Like when I was at TLC, I would do lives 5 days a week, standing up for 3 and 4 hours in my kitchen. And then it had gotten to the point that it was so bad that I had to start sitting down and doing the lives. And then after that, it was like I couldn't do the lives at all because I could barely get out of the bed. So by the time I turned to God and had a conversation with God about I'm ready to go because this pain is unbearable type shit, and he said, you need to start eating for your blood type. At that point, I literally felt like I was on my deathbed. Like, I'm ready to go, because if this is how the rest of my life is going to be, I'm ready to just call it quits. That's where I was. So that message came down as clear as a bell. You need to eat for your blood type. And I was like, yo, I haven't heard that in decades. I haven't heard anyone talking about this. I haven't seen that book since the early 90s. And I just immediately ordered the book off of Amazon. It came the next day. And I looked at the avoid foods list, and everything that was on the avoid foods list is what I was eating, mainly chicken. And as a blood type AB and blood type B, chicken is literally deadly to us. And me feeling like I was dying was natural, because I probably was. That chicken was doing its best to take me out. And there are a lot of people walking around today, and something that I will thank God for every day, that my blood type is blood type AB. Blood type AB is not very susceptible to autoimmune diseases. That's the only reason I probably don't have MS or lupus or anything like that, because blood type AB is not very susceptible to autoimmune diseases. However, blood type B is. So literally the only thing that saved me from the chicken triggering autoimmune diseases in my body is the fact that I was blood type AB. Okay. As a blood type B, you are extremely susceptible to triggering autoimmune diseases in your body if you're eating chicken on a consistent basis, period. Okay. So when that first 2 days of not eating chicken, of not eating anything on my avoid foods list, I lost 6 pounds of inflammation in just the first 2 days. And that was enough for me to know that there's something to this. This obviously makes sense, So I just kept going. And I mean, just even on that second day, I had lost enough inflammation to where I wasn't in as much pain. So I was able to at least get out of the bed. And then on the third day, I was able to get out of the bed, not only get out of the bed, but I was able to get on the treadmill and walk. And I just kept going. So now it's been 3.5 years that I have been on this path. I'm not going back to eating chicken. I'm not going back to eating the things that hurt me. I'm not going back to the things that exacerbated any illnesses in my body or created any illnesses in my body, because it's not worth it. Plain and simple. It's just not worth it. And as you guys can see, once the seed has been planted, eating according to your blood type, once that seed has been planted in your mind, you're going to start seeing things everywhere that confirm that information. You're going to start seeing way more and more stuff. Was it before COVID? Yeah, it was before COVID. Yeah, it was. When was COVID? What year was COVID? What year was COVID? I had COVID. No, it was after COVID, because I had COVID before they told us what COVID was. The name of the book is Eat Right for Your Type. Okay. I had COVID in 2018. At the end of 2018, I had COVID. 2019. Okay. At the end of 2019, I had COVID. March of 2020 is when they came out and told us that there was this mysterious disease going around. But Jordan got it from his professor at school, brought it in the house, gave it to me. I was already immunocompromised because I had battled sarcoidosis and asthma. So I was, and plus blood type AB already has a compromised immune system. We already have a weaker immune system. So I'm already susceptible to these things. Blood type A is very susceptible to things because, again, they have the weakest immune system. So when I got COVID, it took me 3 months to get over COVID the first time I had it. I've had COVID 3 times. The last time I had COVID, I got over COVID in less than a week because I was eating for my blood type. I wasn't eating any food that was going to make the COVID worse. So what are you trying to tie in the COVID with? I'm trying to figure out what your correlation is here. Are you trying to say that it was getting vaccinated and all that stuff? Because if y'all try to tie in vaccinations to your illnesses, you have been vaccinated your entire life. Okay? Y'all been vaccinated your entire lives. Y'all need to stop trying to blame all this shit that's going on in your body on vaccinations. More than likely, the reason that y'all have all this shit going on in your body is because you're eating the wrong foods and it finally caught up with you. And plus, I travel outside of the country. When you go to other people's countries, you have to get vaccinated. So I've been vaccinated probably more than the average person has been vaccinated. Okay. So I'm not one to sit back and blame, all of this COVID shit. The reason that people have all of these long COVID, they have these long COVID symptoms and all that, it's because y'all eating the wrong shit. You're still eating the wrong food for your blood type. You're just trying to blame it on COVID. You're trying to blame it on the vaccine when it's the chicken. The hell? Y'all don't want to take a look at your lifestyle and blame your lifestyle for why it is that you're dealing with these illnesses. You would love to be able to blame some other external source when really it's coming from your kitchen. Okay? If you are eating foods that do not go with your genetics, eventually you're going to be sick. No one can avoid that. It's just a matter of time. It's not like I'm sitting here wishing it on you. It's just a fact. Okay? It's going to come a day when your body's like, I've taken enough of your abuse and I'm going to fight back. Okay? I don't wish that shit on anybody. I don't wish the pain that I was experiencing from eating chicken 3 or 4 times a week on nobody. Because that pain was excruciating. And I believe that the harder your head is, the worse the pain has to be for you to change. I was a hard-headed person. There's a lot of y'all here that are hard-headed people. What's up, girls? What's up? There's a lot of people here that are hard-headed. So in order for you to change, if you're a hard-headed person, your pain has to be excruciating for you to finally say, okay, that's enough. I'm not dealing with that no more. That was me. My pain was like, okay. And I don't care how delicious the chicken is. It's not worth the inflammation. It's not worth the joint pain. My knees hurting, my ankles hurting. It ain't worth the gut issues. It ain't worth the hormonal fluctuation. It wasn't worth any of that. Okay. But if you know that chicken is a growth, that the estrogen that's in the chicken today, okay, chicken has been genetically modified to have higher levels of estrogen. I know y'all love to talk about GMO fruits and vegetables, but the thing that has been genetically modified the most is chicken. Nobody ever talks about that because today's chickens, it only takes you 42 days. It only takes a chicken 42 days to grow to 6.5 pounds. 42 days to go from this to this. He ain't moving. He ain't exercising. He ain't cleaning his wings. He ain't doing nothing. He's in this little space where he goes from this to this in 42 days, and then he gets sky. Let's not even talk about the chlorine wash that they wash the chickens in chlorine. Hey, you glad to be back? You're glad I'm back, or you glad to be back? Okay. But chickens have been genetically modified to have higher levels of estrogen because estrogen is a growth hormone. Okay. So you are literally putting a bunch of estrogen into your body. The reason that chicken will trigger autoimmune diseases, especially if you are blood type B and blood type AB is because, well, more B than anything, okay, is simply because autoimmune diseases feed on estrogen. So the higher your levels of estrogen, the more susceptible you are to autoimmune diseases. If you are a man that has a higher level of estrogen, then you are going to end up triggering type 2 diabetes and prostate cancer. Okay. As a woman, you're going to trigger MS and lupus and arthritis and diabetes and all these other things. Okay. And Black women are usually at the top of these lists. Now, if you go and look at the statistics, it shows you that African American men and women have higher blood estrogen levels than all the other races of people. We just have a higher level of estrogen, period. Well, if we reverse engineer that, how did we end up with this higher level of estrogen? We have been filling our bodies with estrogen since we were babies. Okay. All of the baby formula is soy based. Soy naturally, if you're a blood type O and a blood type B, will raise your estrogen levels. Soy doesn't have estrogen, it will cause your body to produce more estrogen. So, as babies, 45% of the US population is O, 9% of the US population is B. So we're looking at damn near 55% of the US population is not supposed to be drinking baby formula. Period. So you're feeding your babies baby formula. That's filling your babies with estrogen, which is lowering their immunity. This is why your babies end up with a bunch of colds and you think are seasonal allergies and ear infections, and they're overweight and all these other things because they're being filled with estrogen. By the time they start breaking their teeth, you're sticking a chicken bone in their mouth for them to teeth on. Right? Then by the time they get those two little teeth, you're taking them over to the McDonald's and giving them chicken nuggets. Then when you start feeding them adult food, you're feeding them chicken 3-4 times a week. So by the time your little girls are 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, they're starting their periods. They got little boobies at 7, 8, 9 years old. They're wearing training bras at 7. This is why they always say our little girls are faster than everyone else. They're so fast. They are overdeveloped. Why do you think they're overdeveloped? Because they've been fed a steady stream of estrogen since they came out of the canal. So by the time they're 14, your doctor has talked you into putting them on birth control pills, which is more hormones. So by the time they're 18, 19 years old, they got PCOS, or they got endometriosis. By the time they're 21, they're getting talked into having a hysterectomy. Black women have hysterectomies 3-1, 3 times as much as all other women. Why? Because our stomachs are filled with fibroids. We got endometriosis. We got PCOS. We got hair growing out of our backs. Now we can't have no kids. So how did we get here? You're eating a bunch of foods that are triggering your body to produce more estrogen, or you're eating food that is high in estrogen. What are the other foods that are high in estrogen? That prompt your body to make higher levels of estrogen. Alcohol. Alcohol causes your body to produce more estrogen. Well, when you think about chicken, you're thinking about chicken and liquor. What are the 2 most prevalent business establishments in your neighborhood? Chicken restaurants and liquor stores. Chicken restaurants and liquor stores. You got more liquor stores and chicken restaurants in your neighborhood than you have anything else. Right? What else raises your body's estrogen? Stress. Besides Hispanics right now, who's the most stressed group of people in America? Who traditionally, hey, focus, who traditionally has been the most stressed group of people in America? Any guesses? Black women. What else raises your estrogen in your body? Oats, oatmeal, granola, overnight oats. Oats. And y'all be feeding y'all babies oats. Y'all be putting oat cereal in their bottles, don't you? Because you want them to. That old black people do that. I don't know if white people do it. I'm black, so I don't know. But you know how y'all be putting that cereal in their bottle so they can sleep all night. You know how you say, "Oh, they need to eat. They need to eat more so they can sleep all night." You done started them off on the oats, so you got double estrogen in the bottle. You got the soy baby formula coupled with the oat cereal. Double shot, right? What else raises estrogen in your body? Soy, if you're a blood type O and B. Now, let's think of all the foods that are soy based. A lot of the processed stuff that y'all eat every day is soy based. A lot. Your plant based foods, your Beyond Meat, your Impossible Meat, all that stuff is soy based. All of it. All your little fake meats are soy based. And as a blood type O and a blood type B, which are the red blood, which is the red meat eating blood types, if y'all are being vegan or eating plant based foods, y'all are eating soy, which is going to raise your estrogen. Okay. Anything else raise your estrogen? Chicken, oats, liquor, soy, stress, and if your liver is not functioning properly, your body cannot cycle out high levels of estrogen. If your liver is not functioning properly, you know how easy it is to damage your liver? If you're a blood type B, you can damage your liver simply by eating a bunch of beans and legumes and lentils. Messes your liver function up. Okay. And blood type B don't need to have no problems with their liver. You already got these estrogen issues. So y'all don't need to have no messed up liver, that's for sure. Okay. So the number one thing that is causing problems in your body as a blood type B is chicken. And if chicken was so fantastic, why is it that there's no blood type that benefits from chicken? If chicken was so healthy and so beneficial for us, why is it that no blood type benefits from chicken? We have been fed a line of bullshit, especially as people of color. Okay. We have been fed the scraps. We have been fed the worst of the worst food in America. Okay. Y'all go from, black people went from eating red meat every day to not getting no red meat at all, to eating red meat every day and no carbohydrates, to eating a bunch of subpar meats and a bunch of carbohydrates. And then you wonder why for generations after generations after generations, we all end up with diabetes and heart disease and all of these other different ailments. This is why y'all think you pass down diseases through the family. What you're passing down through the family are habits and recipes. The Havoc sesame oil, my favorite, was weakening on my body. It's insane. Yeah, you can't handle sesame. I like sesame oil too, but as a blood type AB, we can't have it. I don't mean to tell my business, but I feel like I struggle with sexual desire. What do you mean? What do you mean struggle with it? What do you mean? Food wise? Like, what you mean? You're gonna have to. You already done told your business now. You may just go ahead and tell us what you're talking about. You already told us your business, so you may as well just put it on out there now. In relation to what? Struggle with sexual desire in relation to what? I'm confused. You're gonna have to come on out and tell us what you're talking about. Go ahead. I have difficulty finding pleasure in sex. Oh, you're a blood type B. Blood type Bs are not, y'all are blood type B and blood type AB. If I get into this book, I need to make a day to get into the book. You are your blood type. Damn, it's dusty. That's how long it's been since I cracked it open. Y'all, blood type B and blood type AB, we are just not those people. We're not. Like, I ain't had sex in like 9 years. And I'm very okay with that. It's just not something. It's not something that I'm just like, oh, I need to go. I've never been that person. Jordan is not that person either. Like, we could take it or leave it. It's just not a big deal. So don't feel like you're weird because of that. O's are the freaky ones. Them damn O's and A's, them the freaky ones. That's why they end up together all the time. Have y'all noticed that? O's and A's always end up together because they the freaky ones. B's and ABs, we just be like, okay. Yep. Bananas. Don't feel weird because you're not head over heels for it, because neither are we. You said not me? I don't blame you. I mean, just the climate in the country is not. I don't see how anybody could have sex at all. Like, there's just too much shit going on. I'm definitely not having no sex if I'm broke. I don't know how broke people just be having sex. I can't just be getting we're gonna cut your lights off and feeling sexy. That's just, I don't understand it. You lost your job, but you having some sex? What? Debt? The fastest way to turn me off is debt. The fuck? I don't know. I can't. That's why it always amazes me when poor people got a bunch of kids. I'm like, the fuck is that? What? You're pregnant? Listen, I remember my sister, my nephew just turned 9 the other day. I remember when I came back from Nigeria, my sister was like, oh, I was waiting for you to get it. I wanted to take this pregnancy test. I said, pregnancy test? Sure enough, she was pregnant. I was like, pregnant? People still getting pregnant? Ah, Jesus. I didn't know that people were still out here getting pregnant. I had no idea. I thought if I wasn't trying to get pregnant, nobody was trying to get pregnant. You're with an A? You're an A? Y'all A's and O's need to be swapping phone numbers while we on the live. Y'all need to be hitting each other up. Leave me out of it. You want to be turned off? You feeling a little hot? Go look at your bank account. That'll calm your ass right down. That you feeling sexy. Listen, you're an O. If you're a B and you're an AB, do not feel weird that you're not out here like, oh, I'm trying to find a husband. I'm trying to find a wife. I'm trying to do it. That's just, we're not those people. O's and A's, they gonna have sex regardless. It has been a while. I'm gonna crack this book open next week. It ain't gonna be this week. But we're O's and A's, they don't give a shit what's going on in life. They gonna do it. I remember my sister that passed away, her and her husband would be on, not even be on speaking terms and still have sex with each other. Y'all are not on speaking terms. Y'all are walking through the house like two ships in the night, not speaking to each other for days, but having sex at night and get up in the morning and not talk to each other. You got me fucked up. Absolutely not. You said, let me buy that book off you. No. Let's see if it's still on Amazon. Let's see if we can find one on Amazon. I think the last time I looked on there was like $3.50. Let's see if we can find one on there. Absolutely not, y'all. I can't. There is no way on God's green earth that I'm getting over nothing crazy that you said. What's it called? You are your blood type. Do. It ain't even on here. There are some other books. There are some knockoffs. There are some knockoffs, but it ain't this one. This one is called Your Blood Type, Your Life, a complete guide to health, diet, and fitness. And then I found one. Hold on. Let's see how much it is. $1.99. $1.99. Your wife and you are O and A. I know y'all just be doing it. Y'all don't care if y'all mad at each other or not. Y'all like, we can pick up our argument tomorrow. They only got one left. Zara, you better go get it. It's $1.99. And I don't see any other options. It says it's used, but it's in very good condition. I paid $160 for mine on eBay. So that's not bad. So no goat milk. I don't understand your question. No, it's $1.99. It's not $3.25. It got one copy left. And you get it by Friday. But I don't understand the no goat milk question. Where's that question coming from? You just came on the live and said, so no goat milk. We weren't even talking about goat milk. How we get on goat milk? We was talking about sex. Where did goat milk come in? I'm an O. I was being funny. I'm too busy looking for it. I know it's right. Here's one thing I know. Whenever you're ready to have some sex, it's available. Okay? It ain't like you got to look far. It ain't like you got to, you can throw a rock and hit somebody. They're not running out of men. Okay? They're always there. So whatever you got going on, whatever you're going to come back to it, there's still men there. They haven't sold out of them. I don't understand the sense of urgency. They ain't going nowhere. I got to hurry up and give me a man. For what? Where are they going? They're not going nowhere. Okay? But as a blood type B, Miss Jennifer, you need the book to read it. Ma'am, I don't even understand your goat milk question. I don't understand what are you asking me? Who are you? I don't know if you can have goat milk or not. I don't know who you are. I don't know what your blood type is. Okay? I can answer your question if I understand in what context we're talking about it. Okay? If you were a blood type B, if your child was a blood type B or a blood type O, you should have been giving your child goat milk from day one. If you weren't going to give them the boob, you should have been giving them goat milk. Okay. If your child is an O or a B today and you're still giving them milk, you should be giving them goat milk. Okay. They should not be drinking cow's milk. You can have goat milk if you're a blood type O. You cannot have cow's milk. Okay. But as a blood type B, we're talking about blood type B because we didn't finish blood type B the other day. So as a blood type B, you guys experience lectin sensitivity. The symptoms of lectin sensitivity is swollen and painful joints, inflammation, gut issues, hormonal fluctuations, neurological problems, skin issues. Okay. And the number one food that is going to give you that inflammation and pain and skin issues and hormonal fluctuations is chicken. Okay. Also, soy is another one. Y'all cannot have no soy in no way, shape, or form. And a lot of the processed foods you guys are eating has soy in it. And you got to be careful too with a lot of these different processed meats. Like if you bought pre-made meatballs, let's just use meatballs as an example. If you look at the beef meatballs at like Costco, they have wheat. Some of them have soy in them. Wheat is another thing that blood type B cannot have. Same as O. Okay. When you consume wheat, 4 things happen. Number one, it's going to trigger a violent inflammation in your intestines. That's what you guys would consider bloating. Okay. You'll say, oh, I'm so bloated. Well, bloating is your intestines being swollen. That's why your stomach protrudes when you're bloated. Okay. You've been eating lamb for 2 months and your skin is clear and you lost 10 pounds. See how it worked? Jordy lost 60 pounds in 6 months. He was losing 10 pounds a month just eating the food, not exercising, not nothing, just eating lamb. So simple. Hey, Malika. So simple. So if you are eating wheat, it also will slow down your metabolism. Okay. So you're going to feel tired and sluggish all the time. The third thing that happens when you consume wheat is it is going to stop your body from absorbing minerals and nutrients from other foods. So now you're going to end up with mineral deficiencies because you're eating wheat, which is blocking your body's ability to absorb minerals and nutrients in your food. I have to move this cup over here because it makes my camera go down. And then the fourth thing that happens when you consume wheat is it converts your happy hormones into anger and aggression hormones. So 50% of the US population is clinically depressed. How do y'all think all of these millions and millions of people are depressed? Clinically, meaning they're going to the doctor to get some meds because they're depressed. Well, let's think about it. Just about everything y'all eat for breakfast is wheat. Just about every single thing that you guys eat for breakfast is wheat. So you're literally starting your day off in a bad mood. You're starting your day off with bloating. You're starting your day off sluggish and tired. So by the time you get to work, you're in a bad mood. You don't want nobody talking to you. Your boss gets on your nerve. Traffic is, you got road rage on your way to work. You woke up in a great mood and then you had avocado toast or pancakes or French toast or breakfast sandwiches or cereal or a big old bowl of oatmeal. Now you're in a bad mood. Okay. People are ending up with mineral deficiencies. And mineral deficiencies is what is at the root of mental illness. So your depression and your anxiety your bipolarism and schizophrenia. You're all of a sudden on the spectrum. Everybody you know is on the spectrum in some way, shape, or form. Every other kid has autism. Your alcohol abuse and your drug abuse, all of that comes from mineral deficiencies in your body. Hi, Mama. Come here. You okay? That's in his foot. Got his little foot thing on today. That in and of itself is a chore to get on. Okay. So when you're eating wheat, you're going to experience all of those things. Okay. Another thing that you cannot have as a blood type B and a blood type O is corn. Corn is bad for every blood type. Every single blood type. When you consume corn, it stops your body from creating insulin. We're on blood type B. Your body now lacks the ability to make insulin. And the thing about it is, no one ever educated us on how important insulin is to the body. We're just now finding out how important that hormone is to our body. Like your blood pressure cannot be regulated without insulin. Did y'all see the video that I posted yesterday? Where the guy says in just a week of you not eating any salt, you then become insulin resistant. Just a week of you not eating any salt, your body then becomes resistant to insulin. Now, who was it that told y'all to stop eating salt because you got high blood pressure? Remind me again who it was that told y'all to cut back on salt because you got high blood pressure. Remind me again who it was. Remind me again. Just about every doctor I've ever seen told y'all to stop eating salt. Just a week of you not eating salt makes you insulin resistant. What have I been telling y'all for the last 3 years is causing your blood pressure to be high? What have I told y'all for the last 3 years is making your blood pressure high? The fact that you are insulin resistant. When you become insulin resistant, your body is still dumping insulin into your bloodstream. However, the insulin's not getting into your red blood cells. If it can't get into your red blood cells, then it's just swimming around in your bloodstream doing nothing but wreaking havoc on your arteries and your veins. So when you have all this insulin in your bloodstream, but it's not getting into your cells, it causes your arteries and your veins to constrict. So your arteries and veins are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And that puts pressure on your heart. And that makes your pressure go up. When your arteries and veins are tightening, it's like a water hose. You're bending a water hose. So now the water is trickling out on this side, but the pressure is building up on this side, which is your heart. So now your blood can't flow freely through your arteries and veins. That's what's sending your blood pressure up. The doctor tells you to cut back on salt. The salt helps to regulate the liquid in your kidneys. If you have no salt in your body, it can't help to regulate the liquid in your kidneys, because what's happening is when you're not putting any salt in your body, then your body holds on to the salt that it has. Okay? Anytime you make your body believe it's not going to have access to the thing that it needs, it starts holding on to the thing that it has. Does that make sense? So if your body feels like it's not going to get any water, it will retain water. The way to get rid of water retention is to drink more water. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? That's what's happening. So when you're not eating any salt, your body feels like it's not going to get any more sodium. So it's going to hold on to the sodium that it has, which then causes your body to retain water. So then when you go to the doctor is going to give, especially if you're Black people, they're going to give you thiazides, which are water pills, to make you lose the water that you are retaining, which is not going to help your blood pressure at all, because you need some damn salt. You've never heard any of this? Go look at the video I posted yesterday. Go look at the video I posted yesterday on Instagram. It literally is telling you exactly what I've been telling y'all for 3 years. This is the process that your body goes through when you are cutting off salt. This is the process. Okay, I'm telling you what your body is experiencing when you cut off salt. Anytime that your body feels, just like fasting. This is another reason I'm against fasting. If you are fasting, you are telling your body that it is starving. Your body literally holds on to calories and fat when it thinks it's starving. These fasting people will have y'all believe that by starving your body, then your body starts to eat away at the fat that your body has, and that's not true. It literally will hold on to the fat that it has because it feels like it's going into starvation mode. Your body is going to do whatever it needs to do to stay alive. Your body cannot live without water. So if your body feels like you're not going to give it water, it's going to hold on to the water that's in here already. The body is made up of 70% water. So if you're walking around puffy, it's because mainly you're not drinking enough water. Why are you retaining water? Because you're not drinking enough. Does that make sense? Because you are the one putting your body in this position. You are the one making your body feel like it's got to do all these drastic things, which means your body never has an opportunity to chill and never has an opportunity to rest. Because of you, your body is always tired, not from weak, but tired from trying to outthink you. You and your body are trying to outthink each other. So that means you're always in a constant battle with yourself. We got too many people out on the street that we got to battle every day. You got to run from ICE. We got way too much shit going on to whereas you don't need to be fighting with yourself. The one person you do not need to have no struggle and strife with is yourself. The easiest thing you can do for yourself is to go with the flow. The body's not complicated. It only needs about 5 things. It needs some rests. It needs some water. It needs some sunlight. It needs the right food. It needs some exercise. That's it. We are the ones overcomplicating the situation. Reinstall Chrome. I don't have time to be doing that right now. I am in the middle of a live. Hold on. What is going on with YouTube? Relax. I'll install Chrome later when I get off the live. Okay. So my advice is just go with the flow. Eat what you're supposed to eat. Drink what you're supposed to drink. Lay your ass down. Ain't nothing going on that you ain't gonna see when you wake up. Some of y'all just don't go to sleep because you're nosy. I can understand you not going to sleep if you got a shit ton of stuff to do, because that's me. Okay. I'm running on 4 hours of sleep every day because I'm trying to create some shit that's going to be here when I'm gone. Okay. That's what this whole social casino shit is about. Creating something that's going to run on its own, make money on its own, and be here when I'm gone to heaven. When I'm walking through the pearly gates, it's still going to be here. So yes, I'm sacrificing sleep right now. However, I'm not up because I'm nosy. Some of y'all just up because you're nosy. If you're going to be up, do something. Otherwise, get your ass some rest. But I will say this, at least once a week, I will conk the hell out and sleep for 9, 10, 11 hours. Because I literally said to Jordy the other day, don't tell me you can't catch up on sleep. Because I slept the other day for like 11 hours. I felt fantastic. But when it catches up with me, I go to sleep. Okay? Go to sleep. Because that's also, especially at the beginning of this journey, you need more rest, not less. Okay? Because your body repairs itself when it's at a state of rest. No, I don't need you right now. What is this girl talking about? This house cleaner. No, I have people coming from out of town. I've already cleaned up. So that's my advice. If you are dealing with high blood pressure, please cut out all carbohydrates. Okay? The thing that's making you have high blood pressure and the thing that's keeping your blood pressure high, the thing that's making you have high blood pressure is carbohydrates. You're eating a bunch of carbohydrates that are turning into sugar. Your body now has to release a bunch of insulin into your bloodstream. When it can't get into your red blood cells because you're insulin resistant, now you're causing your blood pressure to be high. So if we reverse engineer it, what is the root cause of your blood pressure being high? Your consumption of carbohydrates. Okay? It is not the salt. It is not you consuming salt that's causing your blood pressure to be high. It's you consuming sugar. Okay? And if you stop eating salt, it's going to keep your blood pressure high. So please, drink you some electrolyte water, get you some Celtic salt, put a little in your water. Okay? The body needs sodium. You also cannot have corn, buckwheat, wheat, sesame, amaranth, soy, and rye. All of these are the things that are going to give you lectin sensitivity symptoms. The swollen, painful joints, the inflammation, the neurological problems, the hormonal fluctuations, the gut issues, the skin issues. Okay? What is going to mess up your liver function? Lentils, black beans, black-eyed peas, mung beans, artichokes, and aloe. Quiet as kept, none of us are supposed to be eating any of these beans. These beans are super high in lectins. So with blood type B, y'all are too sensitive to the lectins in food. Please do not eat none of these beans. Okay? I think y'all can only have like what, kidney beans? Maybe kidney beans and black-eyed peas. I think that's pretty much all y'all can have, right? What is making y'all hyper assimilate? Blood type B has a higher level of a particular gut bacteria. We all have this gut bacteria, but for some reason, blood type B has a higher level. So white beans, red beans, lima beans. Okay, because Jordan only eats the kidney beans. Hey, Shivani. Let me let this girl know. No, we are all set. Thanks. So this particular gut bacteria breaks down digestive resistant starches, turns them into sugar, breaks down digestive resistant starches, turns them into sugar, and then stores them as fat in your body. Okay. Whereas other blood types can't digest. Let's use corn as an example. You know how when you eat corn on the cob, you can look back at your boo-boo and see whole kernels in your boo-boo because it hasn't digested? That is true for all the other blood types except B. Because of that digestive enzyme, or because of that particular gut bacteria, it literally breaks down starches that are resistant to digestion, like corn, turns it into sugar, and then stores it as fat in your body. This is also the bacteria that doctors check for. It is very weird to me. This is also the bacteria that your doctor checks for to see if you're diabetic. Because blood type B has the highest population of diabetics in the world. Okay. What are they checking? Your alpha glucosidase bacteria levels. And then some of the most popular diabetes drugs are considered alpha glucosidase inhibiting drugs. So the drugs that they're giving you for diabetes is to inhibit the growth of that particular gut bacteria. Isn't that crazy? What is creating this overgrowth of alpha glucosidase bacteria in your gut? Peanuts, tomatoes, soy, cashews, corn, cornstarch, black pepper, pinto beans, poppy seeds, maltodextrin, and rhubarb. What are you doing? Linka, if you don't get your ass off of that couch, messing that couch up, I'm gonna knock you out. Y'all see him over there pushing the pillows up off the couch? I promise you, Linka is like a cat. He just comes through and knocks all the pillows. You can see him over there on the floor. Just knocks all the pillows off the couch. Jordan literally just fixed the couch. Yeah, wow, it's crazy, right? What is giving you bad gut bacteria overall? Sorghum, peanuts, sucrose, dextrose, carrageenan, distilled liquor, and acacia. Okay, distilled liquor is bad for everybody. Most distilled liquor is made from corn, and corn is bad for everybody. Okay, so what is going to turn it all around for you as a blood type B? Blood type B is the other red meat eating blood type. Y'all are supposed to be eating red meat just like blood type O. Okay.